Pythagorean theorem on the SAT. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Sarah. I have been a STEM math and science teacher for over 20 years, and I'm here to make math and science engaging and fun and not so scary for everyone involved. So if you just want a little brush up on your Algebra 1, your basic things, you're looking at the SAT, you're feeling a little nervous on the basics, come join me. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Go ahead and click the link and do this stuff. One leg of a right triangle has a length of 43.2 millimeters. The hypotenuse of the triangle has a length of 196.8 millimeters. What is the length of the other leg of the triangle in millimeters? Anytime you see a right triangle question, use the Pythagorean theorem. Every time. It's always the Pythagorean theorem. So we've got a right triangle. Okay? We have one leg is 43.2 millimeters. Since they're all the same units, I'm just going to drop them. It's fine. I don't need to do converting units or anything like that. Okay, and then the hypotenuse, which is always across from the right angle, is going to be 196.8. Pythagorean theorem is where you take the squares of both of the legs and add them together, and that gives you the square of the hypotenuse. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But you take leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So we can call this X. So we've got X squared plus 43.2 squared equals 196.8 squared. Now here's a little shortcut for your calculator on this. With the Pythagorean theorem, and the reason why we want to learn these like calculator shortcuts are because, I mean, it's a timed test. You've got to be efficient, right? So if I can spend less time typing this into my calculator, the better. So if I'm solving, so again, I've got my leg squared plus my leg squared equals my hypotenuse squared. If I need to find my hypotenuse, what I can do is I can just plug into my calculator the square root of my leg squared plus my leg squared. So if I just plug that into my calculator, that's going to give me like a one keystroke enter. I've got my side length. If I'm looking for one of the legs, it doesn't matter which one, but if I'm looking for one of the legs, it would be the square root. And I could go through and I could show you like with the formula, or you can just go with it. And it's going to be my hypotenuse squared minus that other leg squared. So if I can type all of that into my calculator, again, it's just one thing and I can get my answer. So in this case, I'm trying to find one of my legs. And again, like when I'm teaching this in my classroom, like I show everybody where the, how you can sort of derive this, right? But ultimately it comes down to, it's a literal equation where I'm just isolating this leg by itself, right? So I would subtract leg squared from both sides. So that's hypotenuse squared minus leg squared. And then I would take the square root, and that's what I've got. So going back to this problem, I'm going to do, in my calculator, I would do square root of 196.8 squared minus 43.2 squared. That I cannot do in my head. I can do a lot of stuff in my head, but, so I've got square root 8 squared minus 43.2 squared. Oh my gosh, really? It's a perfect square. I love it. I love it when that happens. So the side length here is 192. And I can check this by looking at 192 squared plus 43.2 squared. And I get that. I'm going to square root my answer, 196.8, done. Okay, so when you look at this, if you end up with a leg that's too long, if it's longer than the hypotenuse, then you made an error somewhere, right? Moving on and on. Okay, that's it. That's mathed up. Pythagorean theorem, it's everywhere.